Hi everybody, I am making this video after a long time, and yeah, I think a lot of people are still wanting to know about me, and generally writing to me a lot that they want to immigrate and they want to come here. So it's been for some time. I've been very busy with my own projects. I have several projects I've been doing over here. This is one good thing about this country, that you have several, you can do your own stuff. You can just be on your own and you can do your self-employment. That's the thing. But this video, though I have been continuously asking you guys to come over here, this is a very good place to stay, and now that Canada has been ranked #1 in the as the best country for best quality of life, I'm sure a lot of people are wanting to come here. But there are a few things I would like to alert you before coming here, because I think you need to know everything. You should not come here with rose-tinted glasses, and you should not come here with high expectations of the country, because this is a country like any other country. You have to accept certain there are a lot of flaws in this country which we have to accept, because you are moving into another country. You should not leave, you should not leave any hopes of returning back to your country. But there are people who are going back to their own home countries, and I have listed 7 or 8 lists from which I'm going to just explain to you why these people are going back to their countries. And they have a very like, the reasons are quite logical and reasonable reasons for them to go back to their countries. Number one is loneliness and leaving your friends and family behind. See, you've been immigrating at an age where you've already established in your own home country. You have like 2 cars, you have maids, you have a good position in your office, in your workplace. You might be, dissatisfied with the salary, and you think that if you come here, you're going to get rich overnight. It's not. You just moving to another country which has a better quality of life. Let me repeat that over and over again. What you get in Canada, you will get in another part of the world only after a long struggle. But the moment you come here, you get those basic benefits like clean water, free movement. There is absolute freedom. There is absolute freedom for any person to choose any kind of job opportunity, any kind of opportunity, self-employment, anything you want, you can do that. So there are several things you move to Canada and you get immediately. Like, the quality of living is very, very high over here. You get basic stuffs like, you get them very easily. What you deserve, you get them. Like living, you get the respect of being a human being, which you don't get in many parts of the world. But the position that you're in your country, you will definitely not get the same position here the moment you come in. You'll be washing cars. Over there, probably you were like, you had a chauffeur-ridden car, you had red carpets rolled out in front of you, you had people saluting you the moment you step out of your car. Here, you will be doing the other thing. You will be like on the other end. You'll be washing cars, you'll be washing dishes, you'll be washing windows, you'll be doing all those things to start with. So that's going to be very difficult, mind you. That's physically not difficult, because the work ambience here is such that if you take it to if you open about it, it's actually very easy, because people respect you no matter whatever you're doing, whether you're a dishwasher, whether you're a window washer, whether you're an officer, whether you're a government employee. You are respected any form. So you have to understand that. Once you understand that, when you grasp that thing, then this work just becomes another work for you, which is why nobody gets a VIP treatment in Canada. Everybody is treated equal. Okay, so that you have to understand that work over here is very tough. If you can remove that mental blockage, that's fine. Okay, but do not expect to be treated like whatever you were treated at back home. Whatever position you held back home, that's history. The chapter is closed. So do not come here with any expectations of getting that kind of position in your life. Salary is almost the same or even better, so that's fine. Number two, is the loneliness. That's what I was talking about. Life, it's very lonely. There are no festivals, there are no occasions to dance about, there are no occasions to, go out in the street and chill after. It's very lonely. Even the greatest of festivals, that is the Christmas, everything is dark and dingy, and only the lights, the small, like those lights are light all over the place. It's snowing, it's the roads are deserted, the shops are closed, the restaurants are closed. It's a family day for everybody, so everybody is at home. They're not doing anything. Like, you cannot go out and you cannot have fun, really. I mean, unless you really spending a lot and you have a real gathering somewhere, somebody is throwing a party, okay, then it's fine. But otherwise, just like that, you cannot go out and have fun. So it's very lonely over here, and the very lack of festivities, the lack of like cultural bonhomie, I would say, because everybody, they come from different cultural backgrounds, so they have their own different festivals. And it's not really a Canadian festival. They're not called Canadian festivals, except for Victoria Day, when you just like you get to watch some fireworks, or Canada Day, you can go out and watch some fireworks. That's it. You're not doing the fireworks yourself, like you're not lighting them yourself. So it's not fun over here. It's definitely not fun over here the way it is back home. Like back home, Diwali is like crazy in India. And I'm not mentioning the other festivals which are crazy. So here it is very, very low down and subdued, and which you have to which is very difficult. But for 9 years of living here, it's so difficult for me to accept it. I keep flying back home during the festival days, and I stay there now that, like, I can do that. Okay, so yeah, kind of. So it's becoming that thing is very important. Number 2 is you leave behind your number 3 is you leave behind your family over there, and you're constantly pining for them, and your friends, your lifelong friends are there. You cannot make friends at midlife over here. You can make only acquaintances which you like. So you come here with a and at the end of the day, you don't have any friends. You only have your family to fall back on. So you're calling home and you're talking to your friends back home. You're going back and meeting them. So it's becomes a very lonely life over here. Okay, so that's one thing that's after a point of time starts eating you. Number 3, which is a very current thing, that is education. We come here for good education, free education. Some of it, like particularly till grade 12, education is free. Fine. After that, college education had been so far sponsored by the government, like they was to give us grants which we could pay off the education fees with. Okay, so our children, I'm talking about our children, so we could pay off the education fees. Now there has been a restriction in the grant, so you cannot you do not get so much grant to pay off your education fees. So naturally, it's just for the students, the loan is surmounting. Now this thing is something which I think is a big backdrop and a big drawback which has descended upon the Canadian culture. Now that OSAP or particularly in Ontario, if you cannot get the grant that pay back your loan, then your loan's interest starts mounting the moment you leave your college. It's going to be very difficult for the students to give back the loan, and this is primarily one of the biggest reasons, is because people should come here, take the OSAP grant and take the loan, and then they used to just never pay back. This is how it started, and now the Canadian government, Ontario government, has run into a lot of debt, so they are not providing so much grant for students to study here. Even then, I will say that the students are much more benefited, because they're paying almost 1/3 of what international students are paying. In spite of that, it is a very, very high loan that students are running into, which I think the Ontario government should look into, because in this way there are going to be more students who are going to opt out for jobs instead of studies, and again this quality of life which we immigrants are attracted to, it's going to fall very drastically. So this quality of life is going to fall, and it's going to affect the final index of quality of life. Number 5 or number 6, I think, is the medical. We all know that Canadian medical is free in Canada. We all know that, right? Okay, no. There are two things to it. One, the prescription drugs are not free, which is very expensive, and there is when you are in the hospital, your medicine is free. But when you're out of the hospital, when you're buying the prescription drugs, that's not free. That's very expensive. Okay, there lies the catch. And the second catch is, unless you are dying, you're not going to be taken care of by the doctors. So it's like you have to either pretend that you're dying, or else you have to sit in pain. If you're even in the emergency and you call 911, you go to the emergency, you're just sitting in pain. Nobody looks at you. No doctor will look at you. Unless you tell them, like, it's for hours and hours you're sitting in the emergency and you're in pain, and you keep on telling them that you're in pain, unless like you have to really pretend that you're like suffering or something. So this is something I find very very inhuman in the part of the system, because it's free, so you don't have to pay for it. Might as well get some pay and get some good attention from the government, from the doctors. Doctors just come in at the end of the day and just look at, and like I had one eye problem, an eye infection, and I was covering my eye like this for the entire 5 hours. I had to sit at the emergency. Nobody looked at me. They were just keep on carrying on registering my name. Okay, this is the problem. Registered. Please wait. That's it. And please wait. And they're taking me from one room to the other, and from that room to the other. And nobody. Finally, when the doctor came, he just looked at me and he said, "I think there is an infection," but they didn't give me any medication for it. This referred me to another doctor. Okay, they gave me a temporary drop, and they referred me to another surgeon, specialist. So which means another few hours of wait. And I had that kind of pain in my eye. It was burning pain. So I came back to my family doctor and I said, "Just give me something to stop this pain. I cannot tolerate this anymore." So he gave me the medicine. I luckily have a very good family doctor. So that is one other thing which people are going back home for. You can go back home, particularly dental. When you have dental problems, here it's so expensive. It's cheaper to take a ticket, go back home, show yourself to a dentist, and come back. It's cheaper actually. So a lot of people are flying back home for medical problems. A friend of mine had a shoulder had a broken shoulder, and he's living with that broken shoulder the past 4 years. No doctors has treated him so far. He's been like made to wait, and it's going on. I don't know what's the latest situation is. So there are a few things, and then number 8 I would say is the weather condition. It is not so easy like back home when you're just wearing a t-shirt and put on a pair of sandals and walk to the mall or walk to your movies. No, you have to check the weather, put on the clothes, layers and layers of clothes. Every time you have to buy one piece of bread or one eggs which you finish at home, or even if you're running out of salt or something, you have to put all those layers of clothes on, put on your socks, gloves, cap, and ear muffins, and then you have to go out. If you have a car, it's good. You have to take the car, go to the grocery, walk down miles in an aisle to get that particular salt or sugar, and then you and land up spending more than what you need, obviously, because you've gone to the grocery. So then you get those things, and you have to come back home, take off all your clothes. It's mind-blowing. It's really unnecessary. This weather condition is very bad. The cold over here is for 6 months. So most of the people who fly back to the south or fly back to the home countries during the 6 months, and they come back here again when it's very cold over here. And for 6 months it's minus 30, 40, like 30, 20, like that, in that range. And yeah, that's about it. I've got all the list. So these are the reasons why people go back home, and I'm sure but other than that, this country is awesome. Like, it's here where I've established myself after I've been a journalist in India. I've been with Hindustan Times and the Telegraph for 20 years. After that, I came here and I was working as the editor of South Asian News for some time. But then I realized that the media industry over here is bad because there is no news in this country. So, like not the way it is back home. So the newspapers are not a very good industry, very strong industry to be in. So which is why I left that industry and I went into publishing industry. We published a lot of books ourselves, okay, and other than that, I've been a novelist, I've been a writer, so I've written 3 books, so 4 books actually. One is online. This is 3 physical books which I've written, so you might be knowing about this book, Neil Master. This is very popular, it's on Goodreads, and this is my latest Bengali book which I have published in 2018. So this is a collection of short stories, and currently I'm running 2 businesses. One is a publishing business, this is online publishing house, and the second business, which is very close to my heart, is a cooking business which I recently started, and it is all about Bengali cooking, my hometown cooking. So this is called the Hangla, and I've got the card, and recently I've just got a mouse pad, Hangla mouse pad. So this is my recent endeavors. So I'm doing a lot of things over here, endeavors and stuff like that, but you would say it is easy to have your own self-employment. It is easy to start out something on your own. It's comparatively easier than in India or any other part of the world. And if you want to, you can. There are a lot of opportunities, just not jobs. There are a lot of career opportunities over here. It's a beautiful country. Living over here is very good. I'm not planning to go back soon, though I have one step. Always I had one foot in my back home, because I love my country a lot. I left it with a lot of sadness, but essentially these are the things. So you have to remember them, and when you're coming here, remember that this is not like what it claims to be, the greatest place on earth. You have to struggle, you have to really work hard to get whatever you want. You really have to work hard. So I hope to hear from you. It's catchat51@gmail.com. So write to me. Please subscribe to my channel and get your notification bell on so that you get to hear from me. I'm planning to do a video every Friday. Let's see, every weekend. Let's see if it works out, because I've been so busy I'm not being able to make a video. But yeah, whatever I learn, I'll let you know, and you can also write to me for professional advice, which I give to newcomers who are planning to come here. I give them the right guidance, because it is not easy over here, and you should not get guidance from all those people who claim them to be professionals. No, I'm not a professional person, but I give guidance. I try to give guidance based out of my own experience in this country. Have a good day. Bye bye.